Gavin Newsom calls a special election for next spring.
State Fullerton opens a new scholarship office.
And alum Adam Rank reflects on his journey to becoming an NFL analyst.
OC News starts now.
This just in tech news. The first responder on
There's been a lot of collaborative efforts
feel
over the years.
blessed to be here in Fullerton.
Brought to you by the Broadcast Journalism students at Cal State Fullerton.
OC News starts right now.
Hello and welcome to our very last show of the 2024 fall semester. I'm Anthony Manifold.
And I'm Omar Portillo. OC News is brought to you by the Broadcast Journalism students of Cal State Fullerton. California Governor Gavin Newsom has issued a proclamation declaring two special elections for the state of California. The special elections are set to take place in Senate District 36 and Assembly District 32. Both seats are currently vacant after the incumbent stepped down. The special primary is scheduled for February 25th, and the election will take place on April 29th.
And speaking of Governor Newsom, the special election declaration comes as he prepares the state with new policies and immigration support upon the upcoming Trump administration. Reporter Jacob Fisk has more on the story.
Gavin Newsom announced last week he was seeking around $25 million to counter the Trump administration in court battles. But this isn't the first time it's happened. During Trump's first term as president, the state of California has filed over 120 lawsuits against the Trump administration, which has costed the state around $42 million. Even with the legislation expected to be passed before Trump is sworn in as president on January 20th, there are other things that can occur between California and the Trump administration outside of court battles.
The federal government cannot force state institutions to help them do the federal government's job. So, for example, what does a Cal State Fullerton employee have to do if immigration comes to talk to them or whatever? So the first part of Trump proofing, I think, is to make sure that state agencies know what they do and do not have to agree to or comply with.
But while the state does have some options to defend themselves from federal action, Trump's administration has options as well.
Something that the Trump administration can do legally is to attach conditions to federal funds. You don't get X pot of money if you don't cooperate with law Y. But that means they forfeit that money. And so the state needs to be ready to have money to somewhat replace whatever federal funds they might face or they might lose.
So as the country begins to count down to see President-elect Donald Trump return to office, California's government may make more moves in the near future to counter Trump's administration. Reporting for OC News, I'm Jacob Fisk.
California Attorney General Rob Banta has announced that the California Department of Justice is investigating the Buena Park Police Department following an officer-involved shooting. The shooting took place on Tuesday afternoon near the 5 freeway and resulted in the death of one individual.
For renters, it is unlikely for landlords to make the necessary repairs on time or at all. I have the story on tenants facing the same fate in South Orange County.
Irvine Company is known for owning a variety of properties in Orange County, including 125 apartment communities. Promontory Point in Newport Beach offers many views and amenities to its residents. However, do the pros outweigh the cons?
The views were great. I mean, there was a view from the family room and the bedrooms, and it was very tranquil and close to all the Balboa Island attractions, so walking was great. It was an absolutely stunning location. The property had some things that went wrong with it. There was major leaks going on when I lived there. From the unit above me, I wasn't the top floor, I was in the middle, but the unit above leaked and it came through my ceiling, and then it took a long time for the Irvine Company to do the repairs of the unit. So we were relocated out of my unit for about 5 months altogether. So it was very hectic to be able not be able to live in your home, and we kept bouncing from hotel to hotel.
With unknown living conditions and unhappy residents, Promontory Point and Irvine Company must be making some changes. Since being built in 1974, Promontory Point started replacing roof tiles in late 2023. The complex is made up of 500 plus units, which could take multiple years to complete. The
old roofing allowed for rainwater to seep into the walls, ceilings, and HVAC units. Because of the residue, another Irvine Company resident, Don, got sick.
For the many time and filed a maintenance request, which we have to do on computer, that I wanted them to inspect for mold before I re-signed my lease. And they said, oh, it's just mildew. We were out there. We just replaced your filters. And I said, I know, you keep telling me that it's mildew, but it's not. I'm sick. And I have all the symptoms of mold, and you can't see it because it's behind the walls. After I signed my lease, they gave me a cup, or they brought me into the office and told me about the inspection and said that I needed to move out immediately, and that they were tearing down both of my bathroom walls, and the HVAC unit had to be removed and cleaned out, and also my water heater closet.
In this video, dated on Halloween, workers have gas masks and protective clothing to protect themselves from chemicals or mold they might breathe in from her apartment, the same apartment Dawn lived in for years. And only after signing a lease, Irvine Company administered the remedy to her situation.
Coming up after the break, we have a profile story on a prestigious NFL writer and Cal State Fullerton alum.
And we have a look at this week's walk through a winter wonderland as we cover the weather.
Be sure to stay tuned.
Hey world, I have a quick message. It's about safe driving. All right, let's go. Anytime you're driving, have the seatbelt buckled tight. Both hands on the wheel and your phone out of sight. When not in your hand, trying to text somebody back. Because if you do, your car might get smacked. The moral of the story, just put your phone down. The people on the road will stay safe and sound. Put your phone down, put your phone down. People on the road will stay safe and sound. Yeah.
What does it take to discover the greatness within you? It takes resilience.
When I first got to Cal State Fullerton, I felt lost. Then I found my community. It was like a caring family cheering me on.
I wasn't sure about being a chemist. My professors showed me I could. People believed in me here, and I learned to believe in myself. Discover the resilience within you at Cal State Fullerton.
After a week of clear skies, let's see if we can keep sporting our favorite sunglasses or if we need an umbrella. Now tossing it over to our coolest weather anchor, Ethan Lopez.
Good evening, fellow Titans who are watching on YouTube Live or Spectrum TV. I am Ethan Lopez. It is now time for your weather update. Let's take a look at what is going on outside and what you can expect in the coming days. Sweater, sunglasses, shorts, or Nike Techs. Right now, temperatures in Fullerton currently is at 69 degrees, and the sunset just happened a few moments ago with the low of 52. By the end of the night, get your heated blanket out, and if you're heading out tonight, do not, I repeat, do not forget the jacket. The wind is at a low 3 miles per hour, and humidity is at a 13%, so not a hot day. Looking ahead, here's what you can expect for the rest of the week and weekend. Tomorrow, we will see lots and lots of clouds with little to no sun, with a high of 60 and a low of 46. Friday, we get more sun with it being mostly cloudy, and a high of 63 and a low of 47. As we move into the weekend, where most people are asking their friends, where are we at? And the young kids like to say outside, will be cloudy with nights of 65 and low of 47. Going into next week, Monday, we'll have a high of 67 and a low of 46. You do not need an umbrella just yet. This is my farewell as I retire from OC News. What a ride I had with this special group. You guys each got a special place in my heart. Back to you guys at the desk.
Thank you, Ethan. While the weather is looking gloomy, the new Cal State Fullerton Scholarship Office is here to brighten your day. I had the opportunity to learn about this office and other improvements to the scholarship system. Last month, Cal State Fullerton opened its inaugural scholarships office, which promises to streamline the scholarship process and boost accessibility. Over the last decade, Cal State Fullerton has had a 400% increase in scholarships. Yet despite this, a small percentage of students apply for a scholarship each year. Associate Director Megan Paradiso Alva spoke about the importance of easing the process for students.
For the population that we have on campus, only about 1,200 students applied. So we have been supporting, will support students with any questions they have about scholarships, how scholarships affect their other financial aid, any of those kind of questions. We're here to help.
The ribbon cutting ceremony took place on November 8th, and students have already been reaping the benefits. Students with questions are welcome daily as work continues to be improved.
I did not know about it, but now that I know about it, it seems like it'd be something convenient that you go check out and find out some information about scholarships and other stuff at Fullerton. No, I have not applied to any scholarships before. It's kind of like murky. It's kind of hard to find information on it. It's kind of also a lot of work. So I can see this office being a way to make it easier to find information on scholarships and also apply for them. I think it'd just be a good way to talk to someone about it.
The scholarship office is located behind me near Gordon Hall across from the Office of Financial Aid. It has been a great help in improving overall accessibility for scholarship information to students. However, this is not the only help that students are getting. This coming January 2025, there will be a new system that will help students regarding scholarship applications. All applications will be done in a much simpler and quicker process in hopes to bring more students and add more students with scholarships.
So January 6th, the application goes live. So we've been working really hard on improving that application. Previously, it was over 80 questions long, now down to 12 questions. So it's a lot more manageable. It's pulling in a lot of data from your major, your GPA. It's pulling all of that data for you.
The new process has a range of people looking forward to the changes, including those looking to make Fullerton their new home.
Oh, I've seen that Fullerton has been making scholarships more accessible and has made me more interested in applying there.
With nearly $11 million in scholarships already awarded to almost 5,000 students this fall, Cal State Fullerton's new initiative is set to make a significant impact on student success. This is Omar Portillo reporting for OC News.
That was a great package, Omar. Titans, you better get those applications in. The Cal State Fullerton men's basketball team faced off against D2 La Sierra last night. Anthony Mendolia has the report.
Coming into Tuesday night, Cal State Fullerton's men's basketball team needed a win badly. The Titans, who last played Saturday in a 75-68 road loss to UC Riverside, were on a 3-game losing streak with a record of 2 wins and 8 losses. Luckily, Fullerton was playing the La Sierra Golden Eagles, an NAIA school that hadn't won a game all season. This game had all the makings of an easy Titans win to help the squad get back on track. As soon as the ball was tipped, it appeared that would be the case this evening. The Titans got off to a hot start, no one more so than sophomore guard Keith Richard, who led the team at the half with 8 points on 3 of 4 shooting from the field and 2 of 3 from three-point range. But as the game went on, the Titans couldn't pull away from their competition, and a lot of that had to do with turnovers.
Yeah, I think we lost our intention. We lost our intention. That's probably.
The Golden Eagles ended the game with 15 steals and forced Fullerton into 22 total turnovers, a season high, which surely won't sit well with head coach Dedrick Taylor. La Sierra even cut the deficit down to only 7 points with 1 minute and 16 seconds left in the second half. Luckily, some of the key players did just enough to allow the Titans to hang on. The team as a whole out-rebounded the Golden Eagles 44-26 and also shot very well at the free throw line, going 19 of 24 for a 79% mark. Those two things ended up being the difference in this matchup, as the Titans staved off the late rally to win by a final score of 61-55, earning their third victory on the season and ending their 3-game losing streak. Still, it seemed as if the result left a lot more to be desired. The Titans will look to regroup as they get ready for this Sunday's game against Denver. When asked of what can be improved the most, Coach Taylor had one word on his mind: intention.
Yeah, we created some good opportunities for ourselves early in the game, but I thought our intention just was up and down. Our intention with how we were playing, whether it's offense or defense, just up and down. And unfortunately, that's just the bear that we face every single day. You never know who you're going to get. It's like Forrest Gump said, it's a box of chocolates with this team. You never know which one you're going to get.
As the Titans get ready for Sunday against Denver at Titan Gym, hopefully they will heed their coach's words. Reporting on the campus of Cal State Fullerton from Titan Gym, this is Anthony Mendolia with OC News.
CSUF alum and NL personality Adam Rink returns to his stomping grounds to lead an example by joining the on-campus ESPN Plus production crew. Our reporter Lena Naranjo got the opportunity to meet with him and unfold his college story.
Using his humor to assert himself and excel in the broadcast industry, Cal State Fullerton alum and NFL personality Adam Rink is truly unmatched. The Corona, California native entered Cal State Fullerton as a first-generation student originally pursuing a business degree, but soon discovered his passion for journalism.
Just planning on being a guy who wore a white dress shirt, sat in a cubicle like Chandler Bing from Friends or whatever, have a job that nobody knows what I'm doing. But I hated it. And I was at one of my friend's house, I was talking to his mom, who was an educator, and she was like, how's school and everything? I'm like, hate it, don't like it. And she's like, well, why aren't you do something that you enjoy? You're a great writer, why aren't you a journalism major? You love sports and all that stuff. And I'm like, I didn't know you could do that. So I low-key went, and I changed my major without my parents knowing. So I low-key switched my major, and then once I got into it, I loved it because it was something that I wanted to do and something I was passionate about.
Through this, Adam focused on honing his writing skills and eventually became the sports columnist for the Daily Titan.
I'm a goofball. Listen to me on the broadcast here. I sound like somebody you would never take serious. So when I would go out there and I would be like, hey, I want to write a sports column, the sports editor's like, yeah, okay. And so what I finally had to do was just sit down at the computer. I wrote a column. I just wrote one, and the guy read it, and he saw me in the halls later on. He's like, I'm running that in the paper tomorrow. I'm like, no way, really?
With confidence and perseverance, Adam continued to stay true to himself despite the outside noise.
Just not going away and just always pushing through. And people might not believe in you or anything like that, but if you believe in yourself, I'm the only person that really matters. I only have to answer to myself.
Now having gained recognition in publications such as the Los Angeles Times, New York Times, AOL's Fan, and having worked as a writer for the Orange County Register, Adam's road to becoming a writer and on-air talent for the NFL was not easy. But that didn't stop him from chasing his dreams.
Doing multiple internships with the NFL, working for the LA Times, the Orange County Register, didn't always make a lot of money. So, it comes down to, are you willing to make the sacrifice to do this? And at some point you have to make a decision, do I want to make money and eat food, or do I want to sit here and pursue my dream? And for me, I sacrificed a lot of that.
NFL sports analyst and writer Cynthia Freeland shares that Adam brings a light to the team with his caring and entertaining personality.
When you're watching him, you feel like you're included on the jokes. You feel like it's your friend that you are watching football with or talking about fantasy football with. He just really makes you feel like you're one of his friends that knows your inside jokes. And there's a real talent to doing that.
Now returning to his stomping grounds, Adam joins the Titan Sports Network crew, a student-run broadcast organization, to assist as a color commentator for ESPN+.
I think it's huge. It allows students to kind of get to talk to someone who is known for being in the sports industry for quite a while, specifically the NFL, right? And we have a lot of students that love NFL football, right? Who doesn't? So I think to have a mentor that's in the field, that knows what he or she is talking about, I think that's great.
It's such a perfect fit. I have stories I can tell. and I can kind of like, that's what I'm bringing to the table. So I thought it was a perfect fit, and I love coming to Cal State Fullerton.
Reporting from Fullerton, I'm Lina Naranjo with OC News.
Man, what a huge acquisition for Titan Sports. Coming up after the break, actor and comedian Jamie Foxx revealed information about his recent medical struggles.
And local music and artistry takes the main stage as a student-ran program in OC tries to make a name for themselves. Stay tuned.
STEM is precise, no margin for error.
Dare to forget that. Dare to have fun with it. Get weird with it. Dare to send those old STEM theories flying past the neighbor's house into outer space. Dare to program something internet-breaking, record-breaking. Dare to blow their minds. Dare to learn the difference between sedimentary and metamorphic rock. Go find those rocks. Dare to keep daring. Dare to STEM. Check out She Can STEM to get started.
Hey, Titan community. On behalf of the Roshan family, my wife Lynn, our son Allende, our daughter Nia, and also our four-legged loved one Jazz, we want to wish you all a happy holiday season. There's no better way to bring this season in than with a little Titan spirit. Cal State Fullerton, thank you for receiving my family with such grace and joy and open arms. Our first semester has been nothing short of spectacular. As we go into the holiday season, I celebrate each and every one of you all for what you do to serve our student body. I've come to a campus where people care about each other, where resiliency is a part of the DNA, and where students are first at every single turn we take. Students coming from all backgrounds, all places, all corners of the globe to make our world a better place. I am so thankful for this opportunity to serve as your president. I wish each of you a happy holiday season. Come back here ready to serve. Come back here ready to uplift. May the new year bring you peace, joy, grace, and great health. Happy holidays!
Welcome back to the show. We now go to Jonathan Bindi for our entertainment news.
Thanks, Omar. Plenty of entertainment news happening before the holiday break, so let's get to it. Actor and singer and comedian Jamie Foxx has revealed his mystery illness that left him hospitalized last year in his new stand-up routine. The Netflix special titled What Had Happened Was chronicles Foxx's health scare while filming a movie where he suffered a brain bleed that turned into a stroke. Foxx stated the event started as a, quote, bad headache, which turned into a 20-day coma. Doctors who cared for Foxx stated that he could make a recovery, but it would be the worst year of his life. The special comedically details struggles with rehab and how his family stood by him during the recovery. The high-energy special, and it landed him a Golden Globe. But going on to the next story, basically what happened is Taylor Swift, after almost 2 years of performing the Eras Tour, has now concluded, making many fans depressed. The highest-grossing music tour of all time. Swift's sold-out tour, which featured her decade-long discography, concluded in Vancouver, Canada, where the show made history, grossing over $2 billion worldwide. Swift performed for over 10 million audience members during the tour, which consisted of 149 show dates. During the tour, Swift donated an extra $197 million in bonuses to event staff, drivers, backup dancers, and more. While her fans wait for Swift's next move, a long-needed break is in order for the pop star. And that wraps up our entertainment news. It's been a great semester with you guys, but back to you at the desk, Anthony.
Thank you, Jonathan. The Fullerton School District has launched a new podcast designed to help families learn more about the school district staff working to serve their students. Reporter Alex Abeda has more on the story.
Fullerton School District serves 20 schools and is home to a diverse community. It can be hard sometimes to reach just 20 people, so imagine how much harder it can be to reach the thousands of people they serve district-wide. In an age where communication is more important than ever, the Fullerton School District is embracing a modern approach to connect with families. 2 members of FSD's Innovation and Instructional Support Team have recently launched a podcast. Co-host and Public Information Officer Amber Munoz shared with me a bit about what inspired the creation of the podcast.
The Innovate and Elevate FSD podcast was just sort of a brainchild between me and my colleague, Pablo Diaz. He's been with the district a lot longer than I have. I just started in May. But in thinking of communication strategies, we wanted to just have another layer of reaching people with our school district stories and the people behind the important work that we do here.
The Innovate and Elevate podcast is filmed here in this studio, which is a part of the larger school district site, keeping everything close to home. This podcast is actually a reboot of some former podcasting projects. Director of Innovation and Instructional Support and co-host Pablo Diaz talked a bit about why they've brought this project back.
It's about time and consistency, and that's why I wanted to get Amber on board. So it makes sense, right, with the main communications officer to be part of that. But I also have an interest in this type of technology, so together we make a good team. So that's why we brought it back and said, okay, who do we want to focus on? And yeah, we're experimenting right now, but mainly to get information out to all of our community about who we are and the people that actually drive the district and what they do.
The podcast comes as part of a larger effort in communications for FSD.
As far as communication goes, it moves at a fast pace. So the tools that we have by which to serve us can really serve our community as well.
Beyond just connecting with the families in their district by podcast, it may not be easy to understand exactly where public relations fits into something like a school district. But Amber explains why communication is so vital.
If you're not telling your story, who is? And so public relations for a school district really just means that you have a chief storyteller that's putting together all of the great things happening in a streamlined way so that your community knows what's happening in your schools, so that your students are celebrated, your teachers are celebrated, and it just really helps with community connectedness, and especially in public education. We're funded by taxpayer dollars, so we really want to have that transparency piece.
While the podcast is still in its early stages, the duo is hopeful it will strengthen connections between families and those that work in district roles that may not always be seen or fully understood.
We just really want to, celebrate our people, I think is at the end of the day what it is. We want people to know the heart and the ideas and just the care that everybody here pours into their work. And so this podcast really seeks to celebrate and highlight the people in our district that are, bringing these amazing opportunities that we do to our kids here in Fullerton.
Audio or voice is a powerful medium by which you can really communicate with a lot of different people, and maybe people that don't necessarily read articles and blogs and websites, but they'll listen perhaps to your podcast.
Initiatives like this podcast show how storytelling and technology can bring communities closer together. As the Fullerton School District continues to innovate and elevate, it sets an example for how communication can build bridges and inspire collaboration. Reporting for OC News, I'm Alex Abeda.
Students in the OC come together to make a name for themselves through live music. Reporter Viridiana Salgado has the story.
More and more young adults are coming together to build a name for themselves, whether that be through their writing or creating a brand such as Chroma. Chroma is a developing student-led initiative focused on building a creative space for young adults in Orange County to engage in.
Well, it's a creative collective to bring in a community of like-minded creatives, whether it's artists or musicians. We just kind of want to get all these creative people and put them in a hub just to connect and network and just make the scene alive again.
We kind of want to have Chroma serve as like a platform for the local artists to get their name out there, kind of to get exposure right now, because the scene within indie, alternative rock, psychedelic music is kind of dead within OC. So we kind of want to bring a platform for people that enjoy music and people that love music to have a good time and be able to network with people with similar interests, similar mindsets.
The collective trio hosted their launch party earlier this year in Westminster with performances from local bands and a DJ set. With a commitment to nurturing the underground music scene in OC, the group envisions their events to be a welcoming environment for all music lovers and to create a space for the local scene to gain outreach.
I think that the best part was definitely seeing all of our hard work just kind of like unfold right in front of our eyes, and being able to experience our, again, our hard work with the people that we invited and the people that we wanted to, show out, and they really did, and we have a really good community.
I felt like they created such a open and friendly environment, so it was really cool to just experience that with all the live music and the cool people.
So we want to expand to a website, have monthly playlists, artist spotlights, and just help people within the same mindset that we have kind of get their name out there and build that community.
We all are so in this little, this shell right now where we only really connect with people through social media. And we really just want to make sure that people feel, connected to the creatives around them.
Chroma intends to host more events in the future, including a New Year's Eve show. With a steady growing following on social media platforms and a successful launch party, the brain cells of Chroma appear to be headed in a positive direction. I'm Viridiana Salgado, reporting for OC News.
Well, that's going to be it for our last show. What do you say, Anthony? What was your favorite memory this semester?
I think it'd be selfish just to pick one memory. I think it's just the feeling of going live on the show right before and the OC News music starts kicking up, and it's just the energy you feel, you know what I mean?
You know what, I'm gonna have to agree with you. Hearing that OC News intro once a week really gets the juices flowing.
Yeah, well, it's a little bittersweet ending this show. Everyone was so wonderful, but thank you so much for tuning into our final early show of the 2024 fall semester. We want to thank our production crew at Titan TV and our hard-working producers for making the show possible. For the last time, signing off, OC News, I'm Anthony Manifold.
And I'm Omar Portillo. Stay tuned for our last late show of the semester coming up after this. Thank you again for tuning in.